Good evening. The following is a live broadcast for the City of Kingsport Board of Mayor and Aldermen. Board meetings are regularly scheduled on the first and third Tuesdays of each month at 7 p.m. In advance of the BMA meeting, a copy of the agenda is available for inspection at the Kingsport Public Library, City Hall, or online at kingsporttn.gov.
Deliberate and vote on various actions. The first order of business will be to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, led by Michael Borders, our Assistant City Manager for Leisure Services. Then please remain standing for the invocation, led by Alderman Betsy Cooper. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our most kind and gracious Heavenly Father, please be with each of us as we walk down the path of uncertainty and discord that is so prevalent in our world today. Pour your love and forgiveness out to the world so that it touches each one of us. Lord, we lift up to you all the people in our city, in our state, in our nation, and in our world. Pour your love and forgiveness out to each person here today and help make each one of us an instrument of your love so that others will know you, and give us wisdom so we may reveal your greatness to others. Let us lift our hearts and open our minds to the Word of God from Romans 12, verses 9 through 13. Don't just pretend to love others, really love them. Hate what is wrong. Hold tightly to what is good. Love each other with genuine affection and take delight in honoring each other. Never be lazy, but work hard and serve the Lord enthusiastically. Rejoice in our confident hope. Be patient in trouble and keep on praying. When God's people are in need, be ready to help them. Always be eager to practice hospitality. Lord, please help us trust in you and your divine understanding of any situation. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. And Betsy, thank you for that inspiring message. And Mr. Borders, thank you. Madam Recorder, please call the roll.
Mayor Shull.
Here.
Vice Mayor George.
Here.
Alderman Cooper.
Here.
Alderman Duncan.
Here.
Alderman Montgomery.
Here.
Alderman Alterman.
Here.
Alderman Phillips.
Here.
Thank you. By my reckoning, all 7 elected members are present, as well as the city manager and appropriate staff. Mr. City Manager.
We have 2 recognitions on the agenda tonight. The first one will be delivered by Vice Mayor George. This is the Murphy Snodderly Award. And I'd ask B.K. Addington if he would join Vice Mayor George at the podium.
BK didn't have a bear behind him.
That's right.
We've been talking about the
And I
bear.
think y'all always put me with like the tallest person, you know, even though I've got heels on, this still doesn't count, but that's good. So I'm so proud of him. And this is the last time I think we're taking this back, although I don't know, Ron may still take it back from you again. But I have this here, so you can hold it if you want. What this award is, and this is like super, super cool, because this is not just us. And, you know, we all belong to a lot of organizations where you do awards and you award the people that are in your group, and we all, you know, pat each other on the back. And this is not that. This is a state award. This is not a committee that he's on. This is not a board he's on. This is like he is an employee of the, you know, for City of Kingsport, but it's a state of Tennessee. So if every single other city in Tennessee, all of their employees that didn't know anything about this, is who he was against to win this. And it's just like the coolest thing ever, because it's not just something you rotate from person to person or city to city, or here's the criteria and this person meets it and you get to check a checkbox, or you know the goals ahead of time. I mean, you had no idea that this was happening. I mean, he didn't know. He didn't even know when they gave him the award, which is even cooler. He thought he was there to support us, which is super, super nice that you would, again, that's who he is. He would come out to support us. He would sit through a whole lousy breakfast, I mean, the food was okay, just to be there, to have our back, because he's such a great person. And, it is so cool, and it speaks so much to us as a city and to all of the, the leadership at the city, that we're smart enough to hire somebody like this and keep him for 32 years. I mean, I don't know how smart that is for you, but for us, it's really, really good. Because it said he has been, and this award is given to the absolute best, with the best attitude, the hardest working, that have the best work ethic, the most helpful, like the absolute best employee in the entire state that's a working person is who gets this award. And you work for us. And we are just so lucky, and it's so cool for you. And I mean, to do this, and some of the stuff they talk about is how, he doesn't just help our city. I mean, Mount Carmel has an issue. They call and ask for him by name. It's like, we want him to come over and help us, because they know he's going to know what to do. He's going to jump right in. He is not going to say, well, that was y'all's fault, y'all stupid. He is going to be the person that, like, how can I do this? Let's get it done. And I mean, you don't find that, especially in today's work world. I mean, we really don't. He has inspired others. I mean, we have our wonderful, one of my favorite events ever, our day for all of to learn about all the equipment and everything, and just the workers, what is that? The Public Works Day, which I love the Public Works Day. And he inspired somebody by showing them, hey, this is so cool and this is how you do it. And that person came to work for us and is doing that now. I mean, I've been inspired. I would write about them in the bucket, but they apparently didn't want me as an employee. So, I mean, he can see true talent. I mean, and it says specifically, when it's a positive impact on everybody he works with. He makes everybody a better person. And, the thing that I love, and it's just like if you come to him, his phrase is, if I can help you, I will. I mean, what more do you want in an employee? I would love every one of my employees to say, if I can help you, I will. I would love to say that I say that every time y'all ask me for something, but you know very well I don't. But I mean, this is this attitude. If I can help you, I will. And I mean, you're just great and you're just terrific. And I think I probably had a script, but they also stop on that. But this encompasses, you encompass all things good in employees. You raise our city across the whole state because we have hired somebody as great as you. And I know you love to have all the praise and all this, but I really, as I said, I am inspired to be a better, I'm inspired to be a better person and a better realtor and a kinder person because I know what you're doing. And that's I'm not even working for the city. Well, I guess I am, but I didn't say a better alderman, I said a better realtor. But all of our workers, I mean, everybody looks up to you. I am just so honored that I was able to hand you this. I'm honored that I was at the award thing where the whole state recognized you. This is truly, truly great, and we really appreciate you. And my understanding is that they're expecting you to put in another 32 years. This is your halfway point.
I will be. If I could make it that long, I wouldn't care.
See, this is what we get. And I don't know if I'm supposed to do anything else, but thank you so very much and give you that.
Thank you all very much.
I really do. And you are an inspiration, and I hope you realize what you've done for our city because we truly appreciate you, and he deserves a round of applause.
Thank you all. And thank you very much.
Do you want to talk now?
I just want to appreciate all the people that I worked with. They've really helped me along too.
And see, they all show up at a
Exactly.
night meeting just to
Exactly.
support you, which I appreciate because a lot of people get awards and they don't have anybody come. But that tells you how great you are, and thank you.
Thank you.
All right. BK, the only way you can top this now is you'll have to wrestle that bear. Thank you. Mr. City Manager, please continue.
Our next recognition will be delivered by Alderman Phillips, and this is the Times News Reader Choice Awards for the Carousel. And I'd ask Jay Church if he would join Alderman Phillips at the podium, please.
Yeah, and Heather, could you come up as well? Okay, I need about half the Vice Mayor's enthusiasm, and I'll be good here. So, but this is very exciting, and every year I think our carousel. I heard Jay say that whoever thought once we built the carousel that it would be the destination for birthday parties. And so in 2022, the carousel and the park was named the Reader's Choice for Best Birthday Party Venue. And that is because of both of your hard work. Heather is new to the team. Have you been there 3 months? 4 months. 4 months. You've been there 4 months. And I will say that I am hearing nothing but good things about you. If I was not, I wouldn't say a word up here. So, but I'm hearing nothing but good things. And Jay, you are Mr. Carousel. I mean, and it's very fitting that it's best birthday party venue because my daughter had her first birthday party there. So it's a wonderful place. I know from experience. And so I want to present this to you all, but I also have something else. On September 14th, Reader's Digest named the city of Kingsport as one of the best places to live, and had something in there about our carousel and all the volunteer work that went into it. And then the next day, that was actually featured on the Today Show. And so from that, our wonderful staff here at the city went out and got the Reader's Digest article framed for you all to have and hang up. And I think that is an amazing accomplishment for the carousel's only been open since 2014. How many people have ridden now? I know it's over 500,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, so over 500,000 people have ridden the carousel now. And so I think this is just a testament to your all's hard work. I mean, it is, I always say it's a crown jewel of Kingsport, and it truly is. I mean, anytime people come here with, no matter how old they are, young kids, old kids, whatever, we try to encourage them to go to the carousel and have a good time, and also eat pals. So would you all like to say anything about either of these? You definitely should say something. Somebody should.
Yeah, sure, I will. Yeah, I was the one that said I was surprised that we had such good support for the parties in Kingsport, mostly birthday, but some anniversary and other reasons. And people still come there on occasion just to have pictures taken. And I have families that come there every year on that person's birthday and celebrate. So it's become part of the Kingsport footprint and part of what Kingsport offers as a city and a community. And that's, in my book, it's all good. We practice one thing that we will not compromise on, and that's safety. Safety first. But we also require every rider to have fun. And that's an easy request because they all have fun. It's been great for me. I'm privileged and grateful to be associated with the carousel. And I think Kingsport should be proud of it. And I thank you all and every one of you, the Mayor, Board of Aldermen, for supporting the carousel as much as you have. And in my book, it's going to go on for generations to come. Thank you.
Thank you. Jay and Heather, thank you for what you do. And as the Reader's Digest pointed out, though, that carousel came about because of hundreds and hundreds of hours of volunteers, including your mom, one of them. So it was really a community effort, and we appreciate that y'all keep it going at a high level. Thank you.
The mayor's point is good, and that's what I wanted to make sure I got this right. It's the nicest places in America to live, and it talks about all the volunteer efforts led by Gail Yo and Valerie and Reggie Martin and the Four Horsemen, as they call them here in this article, that went on to get this thing together. And I was just telling Michael Borders before, I mean, this was all volunteer hours that put this thing together, donations and volunteer hours. And so I also told Michael Borders I'm excited to find the next project like the carousel, so we'll have to get on that.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager.
We have one appointment on the agenda tonight. This is an appointment to the Kingsport Housing and Redevelopment Authority. It's recommended to appoint Greg Perdue to fulfill the unexpired term of Larry Estep. We'd ask that you approve the appointment, please.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve this appointment?
So moved.
Moved by the Vice Mayor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Duncan. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Next item.
Next item is the approval of minutes. We have the work session on September 12th, 2022, the business meeting on September 13th, 2022, and the called business meeting on September 16th, 2022. We'd ask that you approve these minutes as submitted, please.
Thank you. As noted by the city manager, 3 different sets of minutes. I'm asking for a motion to approve.
I make a motion, we approve all 3.
Thank you. Alderman put it on the floor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
We have 2 public hearings on the agenda tonight. The first one is to amend zoning of 910 Wilcox Court, located along South Wilcox Drive and Wilcox Court, from the M1 Light Manufacturing District to B3 Highway-Oriented Business District. Ken Weems, our planning manager, will conduct the public hearing.
Thank you, Chris. So this site, as you can see here on the vicinity map, is just south of where Riverport Road intersects with South Wilcox Drive. And of course, the site itself is right there at the corner of Wilcox Court and South Wilcox Drive. It's an owner-requested rezoning of a half-acre lot from the current zone, which is our M1 Light Manufacturing District, to B3, which is our Highway-Oriented Business District. And it's for the purpose of starting a beauty salon / spa use on the property. This was formerly the site of Tri-Cities Knife Works, for those of you that, excuse me, that drive by this site every day. The surrounding zones, it's a mixture of manufacturing and also our B3 commercial zone. Our land use plan calls for this whole area of Wilcox Court to be future commercial use. Take a look at the aerial, you can see it right there. Of course, right across the street from this is a very compatible, B3 zone with that would support like uses. I haven't had any calls or comments either to our office or during Planning Commission. The submitted site plan just shows existing conditions. All they're going to do is, of course, switch out the signage, and I think the owner wants to maybe switch out a little bit of landscaping is all. During their September meeting, the Planning Commission did vote to send a favorable recommendation to the board in support of the rezoning, and the public hearing notice was published on September 19th. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that the board might have.
Thank you. Before I declare a public hearing, board, do you have any questions or comments for Mr. Weems? If not, then I declare that a public hearing is now open. This means that any citizen that wishes to comment or on this particular action can come forward to the podium. Are there any citizens that wish to do so? If not, I declare the public hearing to be over, and Mr. Attorney, please publish the ordinance.
The ordinance to further amend the zoning code, text and map to rezone property located along Wilcox Court from the M1 district to the B3 Highway-Oriented Business District and the 13th Civil District of Sullivan County, to fix a penalty for the violation of this ordinance and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Ordinances require 2 readings. This is the first reading. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by the Vice Mayor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Phillips. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0 on first reading. Next item.
Next item is an ordinance to abandon a stormwater easement located at 1117, 1121, 1125, and 1129 Hayes Station. This is a public hearing, and Savannah Garland, our planning department, will walk us through that.
So this is an owner-requested stormwater easement abandonment that goes across 4 lots along Tay Station and the new Westgate development. The owner has worked with our city engineering department to reroute the stormwater from these relatively new lots. This way, they will make them more buildable. You can see the easement there with the arrows pointed at and how it goes through 4 different lots. The city department, as well as local utility providers, have reviewed the request, and they no longer have a need for the stormwater easement proposed for the abandonment. So during the Planning Commission September 2022 meeting, they voted to send a favorable recommendation for the abandonment to the Board of Mayor and Alderman, and a notice of public hearing was published on October 19th.
Okay, you're ready for questions? Board, do you have any questions or comments for Ms. Garland? If not, I declare the public hearing to be open in which the public can come forward to the podium and comment on this item. Are there any members of the public that wish to do so? If not, I declare the public hearing portion of this proceedings to be concluded. Mr. Attorney, please publish the ordinance.
An ordinance to abandon a section of a stormwater sewer easement located off of Tay Station, situated in the city of Kingsport, 12th Civil District of Sullivan County, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Phillips. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Duncan. Any discussion?
Yeah, I'll be abstaining from this vote.
You'll abstain. Okay, thank you. Any other comments or questions? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The item passes 6-0-1, one meaning an abstention. Next item, we have public comment section. This is the part in our proceedings where citizens may come forward, speak at the podium to the board, and comment on any item on the agenda. The agenda, of course, are the items that we're deliberating on tonight. When you come to the podium, please state your name and address and sign the register that is provided. You're encouraged to keep your comments non-personal in nature, and they should be limited to 5 minutes. A total of 30 minutes is allocated for public comment during this part of the agenda. Again, this pertains to items that we're considering tonight. If a citizen wishes to come forward and speak later on about an item of general public interest, then there's a portion toward the end of proceedings where they may do so. Are there any citizens who wish to come forward? If not, I declare this portion of the meeting to be concluded, and Mr. City Manager, please proceed.
First item is a resolution and budget ordinance to enter into a contractual agreement and sign all necessary documents with the Tennessee Department of Transportation for reimbursement of annual operation expenses for fiscal year 22-23. This is the annual funding that goes towards the Kingsport Area Transit Service. It is predominantly funded through grants, not only operations but capital. This is the operation portion of that. You all will recall past agendas, we've looked at the capital budgets. So you see the dollar amount here. This is a grant that we have with the state. There's also other operating grants with the Federal Transit Administration. You see the local match there. That has been budgeted. And so we'd ask that you approve the resolution and approve the budget ordinance, please.
Mr. City Manager, please refresh my memory. Considering everything having to do with our transit operations, the city pays only about 10% of total expenses?
For capital, we pay about 10%. For operations, we could pay anywhere from 20 to 25% of the total operating budget.
So the federal government has the biggest portion, then the state, then
Federal,
us.
state, and us, that's right.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution approving a reimbursement grant contract with the Tennessee Department of Transportation for the city's transit system operating expenditures for fiscal year 2022 to 2023, and authorizing the mayor to execute the contract and all of the documents necessary and proper to effectuate the purpose of the contract.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Duncan, seconded by the Vice Mayor. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Let me pause. If it looks to the public like we're going quickly through these items, I'd like to remind you that the board has already met one-on-one, one at a time, with the city manager, gone over this in detail. Then we have a work session, which we've had, and we go over this again. And so by the time we get to the actual voting on them, we're pretty comfortable with what we're seeing and what we're going to vote on. But there may be questions that come up in the interim, and so that's why it proceeds fairly quickly. So, Mr. City Manager, next item.
Next item is a budget ordinance to appropriate $44,000 from the Tennessee Highway Safety Office for the fiscal 23 grant. Again, this is $44,000. There's no local match, and the grant will be utilized for traffic safety enforcement and overtime and the purchase of traffic safety equipment. The ordinance? Yeah. We need to go back to the previous one. I didn't think we'd done the ordinance, but
Oh,
Right there. First reading of the ordinance on the, first reading on the,
we did, I thought we just voted on the,
we did the
We
resolution.
didn't do the ordinance.
oh, okay, I'm sorry. This is one of those items where there's a resolution and an ordinance. So we voted on the resolution. This is the Tennessee Department of Transportation reimbursement item. We now have to take a vote on the ordinance itself. Therefore, is there a motion to approve? Please publish, Mr. Attorney.
Thank you, sir. An ordinance to amend Urban Mass Transit Capital Grant Fund budget for the year ending June 30, 2023, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad I got the attorney, keeps me on track. So we have passed the resolution, now we vote on the ordinance. So is there a motion to approve the ordinance?
So moved.
Moved by the vice mayor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Phillips. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Then the ordinance passes 7-0. Then now we're back on the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Correct?
Correct.
Okay. And we've read, have you published that, Mr. Attorney?
I have not, Mr. Mayor. I believe I interrupted the city manager while he was
Okay,
still
then you go ahead
introducing.
and publish this, and we'll be back on track for sure.
Yes, sir. An ordinance to amend the general project special revenue fund budget by appropriating grant funds received from the Tennessee Highway Safety Office for the year ending June 30th, 2023, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman. Any discussion on this item? It's an ordinance first reading. If no discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is a budget ordinance to appropriate $20,000 from the Tennessee Highway Safety Office fiscal '23 for the coordinator grant. The primary focus of this will be to provide training as well as other funds for traffic enforcement, education, and overtime pay for our officers. Again, there's no matching funds required for this, so we'd ask that you approve the budget ordinance, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend the general project special revenue fund budget by appropriating grant funds received from the Tennessee Highway Safety Office for the year ending June 30th, 2023, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by the Vice Mayor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Next item.
Next item is a budget adjustment ordinance for various funds in fiscal '23. Four primary areas here. The first is amending the general project special revenue fund for an acceptance of an assistance to firefighters grant through FEMA. This is a $353,293 technical rescue grant. It's very important for us from a training standpoint, something we have sought for quite some time. Second is receiving a donation in the amount of $889 from the Friends of the Library. Third is moving some money around in the water fund for the master water plan upgrades and meter replacements. I should say that's moving from for the meter replacements, and then also transferring some money in the Meadowview project fund as a result of the chiller units there at Meadowview. So multiple things happening with that. Ask that you approve the ordinance, please.
Thank you. And on behalf of the board, I would like to thank the Friends of the Library. They've been really great about donating money, not just for this action, but in the past. They've really stepped up. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend various fund budgets for the year ending June 30th, 2023, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Phillips. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Montgomery. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is to appropriate $7,035 from the U.S. Department of Justice, Office of Justice Programs, fiscal '22 Bulletproof Vest Partnership Funding. This requires a 50% match, which has been budgeted within the police department. This is something that we have been successful for in the past. It does provide funding to go towards the replacement of bulletproof vests, which have a shelf life. So it's important for us to rotate those out on a regular basis. And we'd ask that you approve this budget ordinance, please.
Educate me, Mr. City Manager, when we are required to do a match like this, it's, I know you said it was budgeted, but we're usually allowed to use money that we would have spent anyway in that department.
Yeah, typically, you know, when you have grants, a lot of the grants that you've seen on the agenda tonight, these are annual grants that we've been very successful in receiving. And so we will make adjustments in the budget process in anticipation of that. Now, those that are no match, 100% funding, you approve the budget ordinance and that adds on to those departments' existing budget. This one, we had money allocated probably in an equipment line item within the police department, and this just allows us to match that to go towards this. So that's what that's intended for.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend the General Project Special Revenue Fund budget by appropriating grant funds received from the U.S. Department of Justice for the year ending June 30th, 2023, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Montgomery. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Phillips. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is a budget ordinance to appropriate $26,137 from the Department of Justice, Office of Justice Programs, fiscal year 22 Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistance Grant Program, also known as the JAG program. This is also a grant with no matching funds. The $26,000 will be used to purchase equipment and/or technology improvements within our police departments. We'd ask that you approve this budget ordinance on first reading, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend the Justice Assistance Grant Fund budget by appropriating grant funds received from the U.S. Department of Justice for the year ending June 30th, 2023, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Montgomery. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by the Vice Mayor. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Next item.
Couple items now on second and final reading. The first one is to amend zoning of tax map 22, parcel 036.10, and a portion of parcel 036.06 located along University Boulevard from the R3 low-density apartment district and B3 highway-oriented business district to the R4 medium-density apartment district. This item comes to you on second and final reading, and we'd ask that you approve the ordinance.
Thank you. And remind our public, second readings ordinance require a roll call vote. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to further amend the zoning code, text and map to rezone property located along University Boulevard from the R3 and B3 districts to the R4 medium-density apartment district in the first civil district of Hawkins County to fix a penalty for the violation of this ordinance and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Duncan. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Cooper. Any discussion? We had a fair amount of discussion the first time we considered this, and so I think our questions were resolved. Any other comments? If not, Madam Recorder, please take the vote.
Alderman Cooper.
Aye.
Alderman Duncan.
Aye.
Vice Mayor George.
Aye.
Alderman Montgomery.
Aye.
Alderman Alderman. Alderman Phillips.
Aye.
Mayor Schul.
Aye, it passes 7-0. Next item.
Next item is consideration of a budget adjustment ordinance for the sewer fund in fiscal year 23. We'd ask that you approve this ordinance on second and final reading, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
An ordinance to amend the sewer fund budget for the year ending June 30th, 2023, and to fix the effective date of this ordinance.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by the Vice Mayor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Montgomery. Any discussion? If not, Madam Recorder, please take the vote.
Alderman Cooper.
Aye.
Alderman Duncan.
Aye.
Vice Mayor George.
Aye.
Alderman Montgomery.
Aye.
Alderman Alderman. Alderman Phillips.
Aye.
Mayor Schul.
Aye, it passes 7-0. Next item.
Next item is a resolution to utilize Omnia Partners contract number R192005 for maintenance, repair, and operations, supplies, and equipment. This comes to us from our fleet department. For many years, we've utilized Lawson. Because of the fact that it exceeded the $50,000, it would require us then to go into a bid process or to be selected from one of our cooperative partnerships that we are able to access through our purchasing department. The recommendation is to go through Omnia Partners to be able to continue using Lawson for the MRO of our fleet. And so we'd ask that you approve this resolution authorizing this use through March of 2025.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish. A resolution authorizing the city manager to execute purchase orders with Lawson Products for various maintenance, repair, and
Operation supplies and equipment utilizing Omnia Partners contract number R192005.
Thank you. They have a pretty nice brochure here, too.
They do. One thing I failed to mention is that we also, as we have in the past when utilized, we do get a rebate back, which goes back into the fleet department. You see there, right around $2,900 is what's estimated for this year. So
Okay, it's nice.
it's important to note.
Yeah. The attorney published it for us. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by the vice mayor. Is there a second? Second. Second by Alderman Alderman. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a subrecipient agreement with Fannie Mae Dobbins Transitional Housing for an award of American Rescue Plan Act funds. This is a request from Fannie Mae Dobbins Transitional Housing in the amount of $30,000 to be matched with existing grant dollars that this organization has been able to receive for the redevelopment of a property for this use. And so we'd ask that you approve this resolution awarding these funds.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a subrecipient agreement with the Fannie Mae Dobbins Transitional Housing Project for an award of American Rescue Plan Act funds and all other documents necessary and proper to effectuate the purpose of the agreement.
Thank you, and we appreciate the efforts of Ms. Dorothy Dobbins on this particular item. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Moved by Alderman Montgomery. Is there a second? Second by Alderman Alderman. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is a resolution to partner with Holston Business Development Center to assist in the development of the proposed 160-acre industrial park at Holston Army Ammunition Plant. As we discussed last night, this has been a project that has been in the works with both Hawkins County and the city of Kingsport. We've been in partnership with this with the Holston Business Development Center. They will actually be the entity that will manage this portion of the project. Earlier this year, before the leaves came out on the trees, we had the property surveyed. We're now ready to move into the more detailed construction design to be able to get an understanding of what the property can do. As I stated last night, and I'll state again today, it's some of the best property in the city of Kingsport. It's very favorable for economic development. We're hopeful that we can see some type of industrial park developed here in conjunction with the United States Army. Mentioned last night, Mayor, appreciate all the work that you've done on this and working with BAE and others to get us to this point. Appreciate the support from Hawkins County to move us to this point. This is a project that I can tell you for probably 15, 20 years we have been working on in various different capacities. This is the furthest we've ever been able to get with it, and I'm very excited as to what it might be able to bring for Kingsport and for Hawkins County.
Thank you. I think Lieutenant Colonel Carpenter, who was the previous commander, he and Lieutenant Colonel Kalo changed command on the 2nd of August, this past August. But Colonel Carpenter kind of gave us a green light to start forward. It's not a complete done deal, but it's on a good path, and we're pretty optimistic about it. And
Just don't mess up and use one of its bunkers down there.
yeah, we can't interfere with any explosive type operations going on.
He's got bunkers down there.
Yeah.
It's got explosives in it.
No, we'll try to stay safe on this, Tommy.
Okay.
But there are a lot of players. The Kingsport, Hawkins County, the BAE, the prime contractor of the Army, and of course the Army, since it's government-owned, contractor-operated. and the Holston Business Development Center. It kind of helps bring all the parties together. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution approving a financial contribution to Holston Business Group, doing business as Holston Business Development Center in support of the development of the proposed 160-acre industrial park at Holston Army Ammunition Plant.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
A move by Alderman Montgomery. Is there a second? Second. Second by Alderman Duncan. I was tempted to move it myself, but, kind of Army and civil cooperation here, Any further discussion?
We take that back?
No, that's okay. Look, you got to remember, I'm an old soldier,
I think this is exciting.
It is.
Like you said, this is a long time coming. This is wonderful land. This is a great partnership. Everyone is playing great together. We're all, this is another thing where, when you've got Hawkins County involved, you've got the Army, everybody is coming together, and this is wonderful that we're able to do this vote and continue to move this forward.
And we do need to give Chris and the staff their due, because it's something they've been working toward for years. We just couldn't get it over that first hump. So,
I would like to add to that, Mayor.
Yeah.
You have been working on this for many years.
look, I've only been mayor 3 years and a few months.
Well, it was a long time before you became mayor, I can assure you.
Yeah,
And,
Exciting.
so this is,
yeah.
this park has been a long time in existence.
And again, I thank the Hawkins County Commission for the unanimous vote on their portion to contribute toward this. Okay, we had a lot of discussion. Any more? Are we ready to take the vote, Mr. Attorney? Yes. Okay, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute an annual renewal of public library maintenance of effort agreement with the Tennessee State Library and Archives for services via the Holston River Regional Library. This is an annual item that comes to the board. About this time every year, we need to demonstrate to the state of Tennessee, in order for us to remain in the Holston River Regional System, that we are providing the same amount of funding for the library, or no less than the funding that we provided last year. Obviously, it goes up each year, but it should never go down. We've been able to do this for many years. It's a great program to be part of the Holston River system, and so we'd ask that you approve this resolution, please.
Thank you. You notice we've been getting a few letters and emails from citizens pretty excited about us improving the library.
Yes, we've received several calls at City Hall as well, and very, very favorable.
Yeah. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
A resolution approving the public library service agreement with the Tennessee State Library and Archives, and authorizing the mayor to execute the annual renewal of the same to receive funding for books, training, and services through the Holston River Regional Library System for fiscal year 2022 to 2023.
Thank you. This is really nice having an attorney keeping me on track.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by the Vice Mayor. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. By the way, Miss Betsy is on our library board, so thank you for the service there, Betsy. Next item.
Next item is a resolution to purchase 4 Maverick front-wheel drives, I should say, from the Tennessee State contract. These are replacement vehicles that are going in the wastewater admin and technical services area. I know you guys always like to see a picture, so there's a picture of what the vehicle will look like.
What color are they going to be?
They'll be white.
Are they white?
Yeah, we're missing the city logo on there.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. McReynolds pointed out that they're the right size for this particular job, so I think it's pretty neat.
They are. As you all know, we're still struggling to get vehicles, and these are ones that we feel like we can get in a decent amount of time, so glad to get them in.
I searched, just out of curiosity, for these vehicles on Ford's website.
Yeah.
There is one of these vehicles available within 100 miles of here if you went to a dealer. So to add to your point about how hard vehicles are to get.
Did you check the price?
Yeah, they're not bad.
This is a good price, isn't it? Yeah. Mr. Attorney, please publish before I get off track.
A resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a purchase order to Lonnie Cobb Ford utilizing Tennessee State Contract Number 72347 for 4 Ford Maverick trucks for use by the Wastewater Department.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Phillips. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Alderman. Notice how the board really gets enthusiastic about various vehicles. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? It passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Next item is a resolution to purchase 2 Ford Maverick all-wheel drives from the Tennessee State contract. These will be going to the building and code enforcement. One of these will be a vehicle replacement. The other one is an addition to the fleet. The reason for that is this year you all added additional building and codes inspector, and so this will provide the vehicle. Have a same picture, even though it's an all-wheel drive instead of front-wheel drive. We think it'll look just like this.
Okay.
We appreciate the support we have with this and ask that you all approve the resolution, please.
Thank you. Mr. Attorney, please publish.
Authorizing the city manager to execute a purchase order to Lonnie Cobb Ford utilizing Tennessee State Contract Number 72347 for 2 Ford Maverick all-wheel drive trucks for use by the Building Department and Code Enforcement.
When are you supposed to get these vehicles in, Chris?
I'd have to look through here, Tommy, but I'd say it's probably anywhere from 3 to 6 months.
That's what ours was.
Thank you. The attorney published. Now I have to ask for someone to move this item.
So moved.
Moved by the vice mayor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Duncan. You point out the code enforcement. You know, we get a lot of citizen comment about code enforcement, and we take every comment very seriously and investigate and so forth. And this is an item that the city managers put a lot of emphasis on, and I appreciate the diligence in staying with this. So it is very necessary that we hired an additional person because the workload definitely justifies it. Any other comment? If not, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Passes 7-0. Mr. City Manager.
Now move into the consent agenda. We have 2 items on the agenda. I'll read both of those. If you'd like either one pulled for additional discussion, please let me know. The first is a resolution to enter into a renewal of the interlocal agreement with the Second Judicial Drug Task Force. The second item is a resolution ratifying an application for driver training matching grant program from public entities partners. There's no request for additional discussion. We'd ask that these items be approved as submitted.
Thank you. Are there any board members that wish to have the items considered separately? If not, is there a motion to approve?
I make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you. It's moved by the vice mayor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Alderman. Any discussion? If not, Madam Recorder, please take the vote.
Alderman Cooper,
Aye.
Alderman Duncan,
Aye to both.
Vice Mayor George,
Aye to both.
Alderman Montgomery,
Aye to all.
Alderman Alterman,
Aye to both.
Alderman Phillips,
Aye to both.
Mayor Schul.
Aye to both items. Therefore, both items pass unanimously. Mr. City Manager.
Now move into the communication section of the agenda. One item that you will find in your agenda that needs to be spread across the minutes. I authorized an emergency purchase on September 13th. This was for shoring of the Buck Van Huss Dome. As you know, a lot of work will begin in the months ahead regarding that. This was necessary just out of an abundance of caution, and you see there total cost, $298,005, in the construction of Towers Construction, who is the entity that is responsible for that.
Thank you. And I guess it would be fair to say, Mr. City Manager, that the school system is the lead on the repair of this, but we appreciate the help that your staff has rendered towards this resolution of this.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
One other thing that I will talk about just briefly, and we saw this on display tonight with Jay, with BK. Earlier this year, Tyra and I sat down and we started talking about really wanted to try to get in front of a lot of our new hires as they come on board with the city of Kingsport. And so about once a month or once every 2 months, we'll meet up here. It's typically myself, Ryan McReynolds will join us sometimes because we have donuts. And then also we'll have Michael Borders as well. And it's an opportunity for us to have a conversation with these employees, introduce ourselves, and really talk about what it's like to work for the city of Kingsport. And one of the things that I always bring up is J. Fred Johnson's famous quote about the spirit of Kingsport, something that he could never really identify or really could point out, but it's just something that exists. And, you know, when I look at Jay and when I look at BK, both of those individuals really just embody that Kingsport spirit and that desire to go above and beyond. And they come into work every single day and they do that. And the great thing about it is that we have a whole lot of BKs and a whole lot of Js that work for us. These two recognized tonight, and rightfully so, but we have an outstanding organization, one that I'm reminded often is the result of a lot of work that comes from a lot of people that have sat in this seat before me. I've sat in the seats that you all sit in. But last week, I was in Columbus, Ohio, as part of the International City Managers Association Conference, and it gives you an opportunity to really look at a lot of things that are going on in our country, look at a lot of the issues that cities are facing. Kingsport's no different, but one of the things that does separate us is the outstanding workforce, the culture that we've been able to build here, and that within itself is, I think, something that separates us. I know it separates us within this region, and it's something that I hope we will never lose sight of. So that's all.
Thank you. Good remarks. Darrell, how about you? Start.
Yeah, I've got a few things here. The Farmers Market's Fall Festival is coming up October 22nd, and that's from 9 to 11. I've been able to participate in this the last 3 or 4 years, but there's pumpkin carving, decorating, pumpkin painting for the kids, live music. And this year, the carousel will be open as well. And so Heather and, of course, Jay was here tonight, so the timing of this is really good. But if the kids dressed up in costumes, then there's free rides for them. So it'll be a fun day, and that's October 22nd. Lamplight's Halloween Mortality Room starts this weekend, runs through Halloween, I think. Rumor has it there'll be some witches on the streets for the Shop and Hop, I think, is Thursday, too. And then last night after the work session, I had an opportunity to go down to Habitat for Humanity. And they had a mortgage burning last night for 2 families that had paid their homes off. And so that was just a really emotional time for those families. That's a big deal for anyone. But it was certainly, as one lady said, she said, I didn't think that I would ever even live in a house. And now I've been able to pay it off with my mortgage, and she paid it actually early, and she got it paid for in 21 years. So it was just a very good ceremony down there last night, just to kind of see these people. It was very moving.
Glad you made it. That's a good organization.
It's a great organization, and so I think there are others going up I think there's one in Bristol right now that is going up as well. So it is truly, for the ones that gets those homes, it really affects them in a very positive way for sure. Because, and I think Vice Mayor will agree. I mean, home ownership is the American dream. So, thank you.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay, Miss Betsy.
I just want to mention 2 or 3 things. Darrell mentioned one about the Shop and Hop this Thursday in downtown Kingsport. Also, on October 22nd is the Wine and Whiskey Festival, and that's DKA's one of their biggest fundraisers. So you can check out on the website or the Facebook page. Also, October 15th, which is next Thursday, is the National Night Out. This year it's sponsored by This is Kingsport, the New Vision Youth, and our Kingsport Fire Department. And it's going to be at V.O. Dobbins from 5:30 to 7, and it's just evening with their local first responders. So plan on coming out to that on October 15th, next week from this Thursday. Also, several of us are already in the Christmas spirit full-time. We've been talking about the old Christmas in the parks, but I think it's going to be called Christmas in Kingsport this year. We had a meeting today, so you can, trees are for sale. You can, for $175, buy a tree and sponsor a tree. There's going to be 100 trees decorated in downtown Kingsport on both ends, on Centennial and in Glen Bruce across the street. So we're going to do what we did last year at Glen Bruce, and then also expand it all the way down to the other end of Kingsport. So if you know a business or an individual that would like to purchase a tree, they can go to the Facebook page of This is Kingsport or DKA and click on the link and purchase a tree. So I think we're going to have tree decorating day the end of November, so we're already getting very excited about what's going to happen over the Christmas season. And there's 100 trees that are going to be up, that we purchased or that we're going to have, and I think we only have like 30 left for sale, because 30 are going to,
Half sold out, I think, tonight.
yeah,
And
so
they've been on sale for one day.
they've, less than 24 hours, they've been on sale, so if you want a tree, you need to try to get it in the next day or two, so, because I don't think they're going to last very long, hopefully.
I forwarded that email out today.
Yeah, if you see it on, what you all can do to help too is if you see it on Facebook, just share it. So, because the more, people that know it, the better off the response will be. So thanks.
Is that it?
I think that's it.
Well, we appreciate the work that you and James did on that last year. That was like a Hallmark movie. It was
Well,
really
just
nice.
wait, just wait.
Okay, so he's still your partner in crime,
Oh,
huh?
definitely.
Okay.
And we have
Michael's getting excited
Michael.
back there. Yeah, you can
Well,
tell.
Public Works had some interesting decorations, I remember.
And we talked
It's
about, I
exciting face.
was at a meeting with Michael today about another issue, and I think the way that I have meetings is not the way he has meetings, because we talked about everything, and he kept trying to bring us back. So he's been a very good organizer and
He's got a job.
keeping us on track for several different events that are going to be happening in the next few months in Kingsport, but he,
Okay. Paul?
Last Sunday, October 2nd, which was the mayor's birthday, and he and I attended a function downtown, which was Farm to Table, hosted by Hope. It's very well done, and what this is that all summer long, kids have been working, going to the farmer market, and Hope has furnished funds to those youth to buy healthy items. And so this was a combination of all that work, bringing it back to show them how to eat healthy. And actually, food was very good, so
Yeah.
that was a good point. But also, it was returning the grant dollars that the organization received from the city back to the citizens of Kingsport. The other item I want to talk about is say thank you to Dr. Morehouse for his service. I'm sure we'll do that again, but I just want to say thank him for his service to the city of Kingsport and wish him well. That's it, sir.
Okay, thank you. James?
Just one thing tonight, there is, our communications department is doing a communications survey right now, and you can find it on the city website or the city Facebook channels. And so the goal of this is what we always say, is everyone is so fractured now in how they get information and news. And so we would really encourage citizens to take this so that we can determine, and the city can determine, our communications department, how to best get the news out to people in Kingsport about what's going on. And that can be anything from new paving projects to road closures to events going on downtown. And so it's an 18-question survey. It doesn't take very long. So take that and help us figure out how to get the news to you directly. That's all I got.
And they can get on the Connect Kingsport app, too.
Yeah, to report things, you can go and Connect Kingsport. And Adrian was telling me, I don't know if we're announcing this, but I'll announce it, is that there's now a text message thing you can sign up for. And so it sends you text messages with what is going on in Kingsport, like 2 weeks out. Is that right? 2 weeks? 2 weeks out. So so if you prefer to, get your information that way, there's another way we're reaching out. So as you always say, Mayor, we and City Manager, we're putting it out everywhere. It's just at some point, you got to take it.
Yeah, never-ending job. Okay, thank you, James. Tommy?
Well, I've got a football issue. As everybody knows, Dobbins Bennett lost last week, and that was unfortunate. We didn't have the right officials in.
No comment.
I thought I'd let you all know. We lost by 1 point. But this is gonna be a different week, and they won last week. But this week coming up will be a different week. So get all your gear together and everybody go to the game and support the Indians, okay?
Okay, is that it? All right, thanks. Ms. Vice Mayor?
Well, I know we're already to Christmas, but I'm going to stop and just say that also Halloween is coming up. And I think last Halloween, the DKA did a whole event downtown. And I know as a merchant downtown, most everyone had to go back to Food City 2 or 3 times to buy more candy because there were so many kids that were downtown. And so it is a huge event going on down there, and I think there's a lot of pets that came down, and I think this year we're not only buying candy to give out, but we're going to also buy dog treats. So, that is all going to happen prior to Christmas, even though we can start, getting our.
I'm already Christmas.
I know, you skipped it, but, if you want to do Halloween, downtown is going to go ahead and have that holiday also, and just wanted to get that on there. And also just want to say, I think, all of our hearts are with the people in Florida that were hit so heavily by that hurricane. And, it's, as Chris was talking about, when you go and you hear about other cities and we're so blessed with our fire department, our police department, and our public works, but can you imagine being hit like some of those people were hit? And, we are so blessed to live in the mountains where we are protected and we don't have to deal with Mother Nature. We have a lot of things we deal with, but, we have a little bit of rain here and, we have some flooding, but nothing like what other people have dealt with. And we're just very, very blessed. And I know that our people were ready to go, and a lot of people in this area have already started working to give relief and help the people from Florida. With past hurricanes, we've had a lot of people that are in those areas that have ended up moving to our region. And, so I would think that we will pick up some people from this hurricane, and it's something that's going to hit the housing industry, because when you realize the amount of supplies and workers that are going to need to go to Florida, it's going to hit all cities like us that are in the process of a lot of new construction and new homes. But I just want to say, sorry for, prayers to everybody down there, and I feel very blessed to live where we live.
There's a lot of great charities out there, particularly local ones here in Kingsport, but the Red Cross does act on something like this, and so you might want to consider that. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. I'm looking at Police Chief Phipps and the city manager. Since Colette brought up Halloween, Halloween falls on Monday, the 31st of October.
Yes.
Now, we don't, as a city, try to regulate Halloween. I mean, if people want to trick or treat and all that, be safe, of course, but they'll do it on Monday, as far as I'm concerned. Right.
The DKA thing will be on Saturday, the 29th. So
Yeah.
they are hosting that downtown, and a lot of different events are going to be
Yeah.
held at different times. But I
Yeah.
don't think it's, as you said.
But that's
the
a
city-
structured event.
Yes. We don't govern holidays.
So we're not telling neighborhoods how to conduct, Halloween in their neighborhood. We just ask them to be safe and use common sense, young children, certain age, can't just run around by themselves, traffic and everything. Anyway, Thursday, there's a very important anniversary, Thursday, October 6th.
Yeah, true.
The city manager will have 25 years service with the city of Kingsport on Thursday, the 6th of October. And, and I've already given you a coin, and we haven't fired you. I mean, and you're starting to get gray hair. I don't know what else we can do for you. Chris, what you said about BK and Jay and Heather and all that, and the great employees is absolutely true. I've been in a lot of organizations because in the Army we move around a lot, and there's no perfect organization, but there's high-performing ones. And the city of Kingsport's a high-performing one, and a lot of it has to do with your leadership, and we appreciate it. And 25 years is a big milestone. Can you do 25 more?
I don't know, you asked BK for 30 more years, I don't know. 32, yeah. Be tough, we'll give it a shot.
Okay. Well, look, we appreciate your service to the city.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Now, we've reached the portion of our proceedings where citizens may come forward to the podium and speak on issue-oriented items. When you come to the podium, please state your name and address and sign the register that is provided. You're encouraged to keep your comments non-personal in nature, and they should be limited to 5 minutes. Are there any citizens who wish to come forward? Does anybody want to come forward and congratulate the city manager? Well, if not, we're adjourned. Have a good evening. Oh, do you wish to come forward? Speak to us? Come on. You got to be faster. Please sign in and state your name and address.
He's made it the whole meeting. I seen him there when you start.
Is this on now?
Yeah, we can, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Sam Compton. I live at 405 Rosewood Lane. I'm here for an assignment because I'm working on my master's in public administration degree. I just wanted to bring up briefly that I usually do morning walks around the roads around the city of Kingsport. I noticed yesterday that the Triangle Circle Road, which is near Cooks Valley, is in disrepair. It has quite a few potholes in it, and it's probably in need of some repaving by the Public Works area. I don't know if you knew about that, so I thought I would bring it up.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you want to discuss it, Mr. McReynolds in the back, he can talk to you about paving in great detail.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is that it? All right, thank you. Are there any other citizens that wish to come forward? And congratulate Mr. McCart.
I have something to say.
Go ahead, Tommy.
I'm also the president of our homeowners association.
Okay.
I got a roll chewing from one of our residents out there where I live, saying that we're just not the kind that he thinks that he needs on that board and that sort of business. So I offered to give him my slot up, but he didn't want it. I couldn't understand that, but anyway, it's a shame that people go out and try to serve a community, and yet they have people in the community to give them a hard time. I just didn't think that what all he had to say was fair, because you don't have a chance to respond to everybody. And I'm not the mayor either.
Well, one of the wonderful things about our country is we do have freedom of speech.
That's right.
And citizens can contact me or any of my colleagues here on the board and express their opinion. And if there's something that is wrong that can be rectified, then we'll give it our best effort. Sometimes people, it's more of a misunderstanding about what we're doing than.
I think I pulled you into this one, but I don't think it's gonna amount to much.
Okay, you didn't sign in and give your name and address.
No, I didn't.
Okay, are there any other citizens that wish to? Okay, we're adjourned now. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us tonight for the Kingsport BMA meeting. This program has been a production of the City of Kingsport in cooperation with Milligan Productions, Milligan University, and Charter Communications. For more information, visit kingsporttn.gov.